What types of songs work best? I consult with a lot of songwriters trying to break into the music licensing business, and a question I frequently get is what styles of music work best? What kinds of songs should I write? A lot of writers simply want to know what's in demand so they can just start writing those styles. This is an understandable train of thought, and you definitely want to think about it and consider what kinds of songs work best for licensing and why if you're trying to license your music. Here's the thing, though. There's a really broad range of music that's being licensed. If you listen to TV shows and films, you'll discover that the kind of music being used is really all over the map. There's singer-songwriter, indie rock, folk, hip-hop, jazz, and on and on. Pretty much every conceivable style of music is being licensed. Sure, there are different styles that are more in demand than others, and this varies from time to time and year to year. But music that is licensed really encompasses a very broad spectrum stylistically. I run a music marketing company where we work with artists and help them connect with publishers, libraries, supervisors, and so on. It's really interesting to observe which artists generate the most interest consistently and why. I'm often surprised by which artists end up getting the most interest. For example, right now, one of the acts that I see consistently getting picked up by companies that I work with and pitched to is a male-female blues rock duo. Not exactly the most trendy style of music in 2016, yet this particular duo is so good and they have such a distinct sound that I see them placing deal after deal after deal. They do one thing, they do it really, really well, and they get people's attention. An approach I see a lot of artists take that doesn't seem to work as well is to simply try and write a little bit of everything. These artists tend to not really have a definable sound or image. They're all over the place, and it can be a little confusing trying to place them in any particular category. Of course, being diverse is good, and it's great if you can write in a lot of different styles. But it's rare, in my experience at least, that someone is truly amazing in many styles. I think it makes more sense to maybe pick one or two styles and really master them. Do what you love and get really, really good at it. Become the best you can be in your genre, and people will turn to you when they think of that style of music. Another artist, to give you another example, another artist that I've worked with that has a lot of licensing success is a rockabilly artist named Chuck Hughes, who fronts a band called the Hillbilly Hellcats. Again, you wouldn't necessarily think of rockabilly as being a wildly popular style for licensing, but Chuck licenses his unique brand of rockabilly, guitar-oriented music all over the place. His music has been heard on TV shows and car commercials, films, and on and on. Again, he does one style, he does it exceptionally well, and he gets a ton of syncs. Obviously, his music isn't going to work if it's a scene where they're simply looking for something different stylistically, but where his vibe and style does work, it works really well, and he's known for making a particular type of music that he does very well. I think the goal with respect to licensing is to try and write styles you love and are comfortable writing, but find the place where what you do naturally overlaps with what works for licensing opportunities. Listen to as much music that is actually being licensed as possible to develop a feel for what works. I recently interviewed the CEO of Crucial Music for my podcast, and when I asked her what kinds of songs work best for licensing, her answer pretty much summed it up. A hit song is a hit song, she said, whether it's being licensed or played on the radio. She added that there are, of course, a few caveats in terms of subject matter, but that in general, a great song is a great song. Focus on simply writing great material and tweak it so that it works for licensing in terms of subject matter and themes, and you should be on the right track.